Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. For our first segment, we're going to go ahead and talk about Natter and Debbie. Natter came on in a live stream last night claiming that he is single. We're also going to talk about some of the strange behavior, as well as take a look at some interesting clips. Then later on in the video, we are going to touch on Foodie Beauty's most recent live stream where she actually apologizes for her behavior recently. We'll take a look at a clip where she claps back at Natter and the naysayers that think she is on her way to Montreal right now because of this alleged breakup. The cycle continues. History repeats itself. T. All that and more coming up on today's edition of Girl Talk. Let's just get right into it. I mean, shall we? All right, you guys, so for our first segment, I did want to talk about the happy couple, aka Natter and Debbie, over on the Nader El Shami channel. We have been following this couple for the past couple of years, ever since Dee Dee took Chantal's man, of course, a classic arc in the Foodie Beauty world. But just last night, Natter came on in a live stream called I'm Single. So what's going on between these two? You guys know I had to investigate. So my investigation led me to a channel called BBW King, who has been documenting the debauchery with a collection of alarming clips. Before we get into what exactly happened last night, I did want to take us back to about February 8th. Natter and Debbie were actually sitting on a couch streaming, and Natter wanted Debbie to stay up. He was smoking his cigarette. He wanted her to stay up until at least he was done with that cigarette. And it was so weird. He wouldn't let her go to sleep. It's almost like he's forcing her into this sleep deprived state. And her behavior, she seemed almost delirious.
العب يا لولو يا لولو بتاع زمان يا لولو. I told you wait.
That's gonna take an hour. It's already been an hour.
No,
Yes.
guys, don't
It's not a cigarette.
العب يا لولو. So what I said last thing to you. I don't believe me.
Oh, Mama. Now I'm telling you I am. I feel like I'm delirious right now.
I do wonder if her mom is still planning on moving in. That is not a very good situation. We haven't heard any updates in regards to that. There is, of course, rumor and speculation abound about Chantal heading over to Lachine and kind of joining them for a Three's Company situation. But I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her. There really is no proof that she's been over there. Although she hasn't been streaming too much recently, but Natter has. Yesterday, we talked about his 9-hour live stream. There's no way that she could have been there during that time at least. Okay, so last night, this is a little bit hard to follow because I think some of these things were deleted. They had a fight about lakma. So Natter was going to make Debbie this dessert, and he eventually did end up making the lakma. Before that, though, they had an argument. Natter wanted her to come over to the kitchen area, but she wouldn't, and it sort of escalated into this big deal. She wanted to relax on the couch, and for some reason, he didn't want to let her. She had to be over there with him in the kitchen. It's a little hard to explain, so let me just go ahead and play the clip.
You're gonna come or no? No problem for me. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
You come here or no?
I guess I am.
You want to come? If you don't want to, I don't care. Me, I don't care. If you need to relax there, I can be relaxed too. I'm not standing up for myself. You ask me to do it, I do it. So do it, make it right or don't do it. That's it.
Okay, forget about it then.
Okay.
We'll do the lockers another time. Comfy here on the couch.
Okay. Good night, guys.
After that, Natter eventually did come back in a live stream called I'm Single. Now, notice his shorts. This man doesn't have that big of a wardrobe. These white and black shorts, guys, I do have to say they suit him almost as well as an orange jumpsuit. But I digress. So in typical Natter form, he comes on, he's looking at the iPad that, of course, Chantal bought him, reading the side chat and mumbling non-answers to the questions that people have. Are you single for real, or is this just the title? One thing's for sure, him and Debbie are certainly seeking attention. Not many people are really buying this. Some think that this is maybe a joke. Maybe he's making fun of Chantal and Salah having their little breakup moment that nobody nobody really believed either, because during the video, someone asked if him and Debbie are okay, and he says like they're okay. Or maybe he was just saying that Debbie's okay. It's hard to understand. People were worried about Debbie, and she seemed kind of distant during the live, although she did chime in and say that she was fine and let out an exasperated sigh. She's tired of people worrying for her. There were some other weird moments as well, including one from February 8th that I did stumble upon, where Natter makes her say that he's absolutely right 3 times, and then she starts laughing.
I can go sit over there.
Watch. She's not gonna even have the power to go there.
You're right.
I know.
You're absolutely right.
No, she got still right. You're right. I'm still absolutely right 3 times.
I said what?
Absolutely right.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, 3 times.
Say it 3 times? You want me to say it? Absolutely right, absolutely right, absolutely right.
I am absolutely horrified by this couple, but also enthralled by their story. How long is this going to really last? And it's really hard to tell with Debbie if she is actually okay. I mean, when she comes on and addresses people's concerns, she acts annoyed and assures everybody that everything is fine. But I don't know if I necessarily believe her. Debbie has put herself in a prison of her own making. But speaking of putting yourself in a prison of your own making, let's talk about Chantal's latest live stream. She came on to apologize. You might be asking yourself, what exactly did she come on to apologize for this time? Well, I've got a list here of things that she possibly could apologize for. This time she came on to address her behavior these past couple of days. Every time she comes on a live stream while she's at home, it is clear as day that she is hamburgerizing. Chantal is struggling to stay away from the schmedibles because over here in the Western world, aka Canada, these things are very easily accessible. While on the contrary, over in Kuwait, this is something that you definitely cannot access. And even if you were to, you are taking a huge risk because if you're caught, you could be locked up. Jail bees. So during this live stream, there was a part of me that was thinking, like, who cares? If this is what she wants to do, then just go ahead and do it. But I don't understand her thought process. Why would she come online? If she wants to hide the fact that she is doing this behind the scenes, then just stay off of the internet and nobody would know. Although everybody was taking bets that she would go right back to that as soon as she landed in Canada. She claims that in Kuwait, she doesn't even think about it because there is not that temptation. But in order to, quote, deal with her life in Canada, she feels the need to have to self-medicate. I do think that she has put off all of her problems, and that is the reason that she feels this way. The bankruptcy wasn't discharged, and now she has to face reality. She thinks that she can go to Kuwait and escape all of those problems, but while she is here, she has to use the schmedibles to push that down and deal with her present situation. It's weird because she keeps saying that she's never going to come back to Canada. Like if she can, she will go to another country. She doesn't care what country it is as long as it's not Canada. Like remember how she used to boast about being from Canada? She loved it there. She's going to give up her healthcare. She's going to give up everything. Although she does mention that she'll have to return at some point just to maintain citizenship. I mean, this is just bonkers. During the live stream, Chantal is getting a bunch of calls and text because yesterday she posted an ad saying that she was going to have an open house at the villa so people could come over to her house and purchase things. Because she's not taking anything, people found the flyer and she put her phone number on it. Like, how naive can she be? So now her phone number's out there again. Girl, you did it to yourself. Now she says she's considering just giving everything to charity. But here's the thing, who would want any of that stuff? We have seen that couch with all the grease stains in it, the hair fiber stains, the pots and pans had mold in them. Everything is just downright gross. I kind of just want to buy a item just to have it. Anyways, I'm not really buying the apology. And to be honest, I don't really care if she's hamburgerizing. I mean, she just shouldn't lie because it's so obvious. Everybody knows exactly what's going on. The only person that might not is Salah because he's not exposed to these kinds of things. But we have been watching her for years, so we know exactly what that looks like. And one thing that people don't appreciate is being treated like they're stupid. I did want to share one clip from the live stream. People were in the side chat saying, hey, now that Natter's single, are you going to head on over to Lachine? People still don't think that's over, even though she's a married woman now. But Foodie was just not having it. She was like, how dare you think that I would go back to him after everything that he put me through? And she went on this tirade talking about how nobody has any sympathy for her. Get a load of this and then we'll discuss.
And Natter is funny and entertaining. It's not, and it wasn't. Like, I went through a lot of crap and I document it was all on camera. At the time, people were screaming, shouting, and not being heard. Remember? Oh, he's an abuser. He's this and that. We see it all. Yeah, well, now it's like everyone's blind or they don't want to remember what he did. Or because I showed more compassion for him than most. Or the other women who were his victims didn't have a platform. I don't know why I get less sympathy. Not that I need your sympathy. But I don't know why people are just so in disbelief that anything that I said he did to me at the time really happened. Oh, because I dropped the charges. Because that's totally not uncommon for a woman to do when she's still involved with the person.
I really don't understand where she's coming from with this because people haven't forgotten what Nader has done. We have seen it with our own 2 eyes. When it comes to her not receiving as much perceived sympathy as she would have liked at the time, it's because of the way that she acted. When things had come out, the way that Nader had treated other women, she did nothing but attack those other women. Not to mention when it came to telling her story, she would change it every 5 minutes in order to protect him. And she knew exactly what he was capable of the whole time. We don't forget what Nader did, and we don't forget what you did either. Whenever Chantal and Nader had a falling out, she would talk about the things that she went through with him. But whenever she wanted to get back into his good graces, she would flat out say that none of this ever happened. So what do you expect? That was just one of those segments that really annoyed me and I had to call it out. And where are these people that are forgiving and forgetting what Nader has done? Like, come on. During this live stream, she also says that she has schmedibles and she's not going to throw them out because they're too expensive. So what was the point of this apology? I guess she's going to take people's advice and just do this off camera if she doesn't want to have to explain herself to everyone. She also got some pot pies there at the end, so I guess her trying to stay away from fast food has gone the way of the birds as well. She was on a live stream last night. That's what kind of prompted this apology. Of course, hamburger eyes beezing, talking about how she has to fit her whole life into a carry-on suitcase. It was a mess. Leave a like on this video because Mia, I can't get them on my own. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.